immediate session, which means the session was supposed to be planned next week, but the session which I have already planned got some distractions because my friend Manoj, who his family has a personal loss. I mean, they have a loss in the family, so he has to go to his native. So that's why have to arrange this session immediately. But this was literally a planned session for the next week. We also have a lot of other sessions which are actually going to be useful for you, where I'll be focusing more on important areas of data engineering, so that would actually help everybody, every audience, not related to Hadoop administrators or data engineers. So it's all useful for everybody. But today we are going to focus one of the most interesting and I would say the demanding topic, Hadoop administrator to other data role. Okay, so the reason why I'm stressing the other data role is there is a myth and there are a lot of marketing and other activities going on related to targeting Hadoop admins. I would say that is the most important thing because uh, a few years ago when we were new to big data, there was a target on people who were working on mainframe because they were having a job problem. Mainframe was not getting much job opening, so the people from mainframe were actually focused to target, and they were getting a lot of calls from various different training or institutions, and the SEOs works in a way that the people with the mainframe title would get Hadoop training opportunities, and that was actually demand. That's a very nice marketing strategy everybody was doing, and the people were also able to learn and get into it. That is one of, because I know I personally trained a lot of people who say that I have a mainframe background, I have a Unix background, I know how this copybook works because I worked with few mainframe developers on getting a source file from a copybook to different formats. So that's something I know. I am not very good on, I mean, I don't have much idea about mainframe. I just know about mainframe as a copybook and other stuff. So that was the strategy of, let's say, getting people more into Hadoop administration or anything on Hadoop side because it was more demanding before 7 years or say 8 years, where a lot of people were in demand on each and every company. The companies were transitioning their big data infrastructure or data infrastructure to big data infrastructure, where the skills were on more demand. When it comes to the evolution of IT, it always moves in a very fast mode. There will be no stop, and it elevates in a much better way. So that's the reason why we are here. Okay, the evolution of IT has some impacts on certain jobs, but it is good to take that impact or understand that impact much earlier than the reality hits. Okay, that is why I understand that. There are a lot of Hadoop admins in my company also. So I'm running a company. I can give you a short introduction about me because we started with some of the Hadoop installation upgrading. But I somehow made everybody to have a different job profile. I made them to appear certain certifications, and I tried to shadow a few people on a different project where now they are very confident on certain other areas, which I would be explaining you. Okay, so let's have a short uh, feedback. Like, are you able to hear me properly? Is there any problem in my connection? Please let me know so that I can revert. I mean, try to solve it as soon as possible. Let's get into the session. What are we going to discuss? Introduction, and the next is about Hadoop administration. What are the works by default Hadoop admin would do? Types of Hadoop administration. You may have a question. What are the types of Hadoop administration? People have a different job role and they have different job responsibilities. So I have categorized that in a very high level. Skill exploration. Currently, what are the skills as a Hadoop admin uh, like we have? Like normally, let's say I work on a Hadoop administration. I know Unix. I know a few other skills because without that, I cannot be an admin. So likewise, what are the current skill exploration? Because that helps us to land on a proper job, and also that helps us to focus on next milestone, which would be our different role. So because I may have certain skills which qualifies me to be a 50% of a specific job, a job role, 50% required for a specific job role, then why should I go and start something from the fresh? And this job, if the job role has a demand, I can easily go and approach. The easy way is always the better way. Okay, so that is what the skill exploration, because everybody are skilled, everybody have some skill which are really fruitful. But when we transition, there are a lot of deviation for us. Somebody would say, go and learn data science. You can become a data scientist in 3 months. And somebody would say, okay, so you can become a data engineer. See, you have to understand the reality and you have to understand yourself. That is the most important thing. That is why the skill exploration is more important. Whenever somebody says, okay, go and take this particular role, just sit and write, or maybe have a analysis about what are the skills required for it technically, and what are the skills required on the managerial side and the operation side. So you have to just see yourself and see, and currently how many skills I have. Do I have to completely report myself to a different domain, or is it relevant? So that's what the next is, the relevant roles. Which are the relevant data roles currently available and demand in the market, or if we have future demand for the next 5-6 years, would be a fit for you, and technologies to be added. Like, what are the technologies which I can understand very closely, because I know already Hadoop, I know how Spark works, I know how distributed computing works, I know how the Unix commands works, I know how network topologies, like I can understand how the network topology. So what should I do next? Okay, and the job demands. These are the main area which we would be discussing today. Introduction. Yeah, my name is Navneet Babu. I am running a company here in UAE. I started as a Hadoop admin in 2013, where actually my first certification was a Cloudera developer, because that was the first certification available in the market. And we were setting up IBM Big Insights Hadoop cluster, which some of you might have not known about it. That was a very old IBM version of Hadoop. Then the customer moved to Cloudera. Likewise, then I moved to Groupon, which was one of the biggest Hadoop infrastructure, where there I was doing automations and pipeline development for ETL jobs, where we had a YAML based ETL pipeline where we optimize it and develop, deploy, and operate the jobs. The next, I moved to Cloudera as an official trainer through a company named ZB. I was working as an official Cloudera trainer for almost 9 months. Then I moved to Mr. Cooper, which for a digital transformation team, where we were analyzing the different cloud migrations, and also we worked on a few Azure migrations with HD Insight, because Databricks was not there earlier. And then now they are using Databricks. I was about to bring Manoj, who's currently working for Cooper, who worked with me for almost 8 years on my career. Then I started I started a private limited company in India, and I collaborated with a Gulf company, which was focusing on big data, data analytics, and other areas. Where right now I'm partner of this company. We have around 20 plus employees and few contractors. Majorly, we started as a Hadoop infrastructure and platform-based company. Then we moved. That's all one-time work for every customers. But the work we did was uh, satisfiable to the customers, so they started giving us the next projects. And now we are doing Microsoft Azure migrations and other cloud migrations, optimizations, and few other things on my company. So we have a very big customer list here. Since 2020, we have 2020 and 2021, we have almost the biggest telco customers, banks, government. We are kind of growing slow, but it's all good. And it's a self-bootstrapped company. There is no investors' investment as of now. It's all started from our own pockets. It's going good. Coming to the topic, yeah.
Babu, can I ask some questions?
We have a Q&A at the last.
Okay.
We can
Okay,
definitely have that would be the most interesting part of my sessions, where I always allocate nearly 1 hour for the Q&A. So let me go through this, and then we can get into the Q&A. Is that fine? Okay, so Hadoop administration. As a Hadoop administrator, what are the activities we would be doing? Installation of cluster could be Now it is all CDP. Okay, Cloud Data Platform. Earlier we had Hortonworks and now CDP, the monopoly. I would also let you know why this Hadoop area got less demand because of a few reasons, which I would be covering in the next slide. So what are the tasks as a Hadoop admin we would be doing? Installation of the cluster, which means we install the Cloud Management Server, then on the manager host, and then we install agents, and before that we have to install the metadata databases, parcel creations, and what are the things? The security blockers. We have to check whether the ports are open, because that is the vital thing. We should have previously given a port list to be opened across the servers. So that's one of the major component. So we do all the can people be on mute? Okay. So that's what we do all these activities as a Hadoop administrator as a prerequisites. So once the prerequisites are done, what we do, we install the manager, we start the manager server, Cloud Manager server, and then we start all the Cloud Manager agents either through manual or we have a automated system in the Cloud Manager itself. It starts the cluster. I mean, it starts the manager and agents. Once the managers and agents are started, what we do, we start installing the services like HDFS, Yarn, uh, Hive, we have Impala, we have Ranger on the security side. So that's what the next is, setting up the security. So most of the clusters would definitely have TLS. TLS based is the most important thing for the data in motion encryption. And then Kerberos. Kerberos is one of the most important thing. Either the customer setup MIT Kerberos, which is slightly rare, or they connect with the AD Kerberos. So the cluster would be Kerberized. Then some of the customers would look on data at rest encryption. So there are multiple security components which you have to add. So once the security setup is done properly, then we have to install the cluster with the services, Ranger protections, Ranger KMS, every security aspects we have to enable, because sometimes the banks, the healthcare companies, the government, they have a strict internet security policies. So we have to adhere to that, and the cluster should go through VScan. I mean, the hardware should go to VScan, and the cluster should go through various other scans, which are most important thing. So these are the primary, or these are the very important aspect in case of this Hadoop administration. Of initially the setting up of cluster, the components which are have to be configured as per the scope document is one of the most important thing. The next is integrating the cluster. I have a cluster. What I would be doing, I cannot just have a cluster standalone. I have to connect this with my upstream system. It could be Kafka from a Confluent, or it could be I need to have a SMTP file system which would actually load the data constantly, and I would have downstream systems. Power BI have to connect, Tableau have to connect, and then Informatica have to be connected, because I do all the ETL through Informatica or Tel. And likewise, there are various other integrations have to be done. Sometimes the Informatica system is not characterized or doesn't have a proper security setup. So we still have to integrate the system. So more than setting up the cluster, these are the biggest challenges for every Hadoop admin. Sometimes it get blocked. Sometimes it's all sometimes becoming complicated. And then handling the issues. There would be, let's say you have requested for 15 certificates, where one certificate is one host would have certificates which are not proper, or sometimes you ask certificate in a specific format, PEM format, or like they would have given it in a different format. So PKCA format or something like that. So that you have to convert. Sometimes you go to the customers or a specific company's network team or the Unix team, they would say, no, I don't give this format. You have to manually convert it. While converting, we might have done a mistake. Handling the issues are the nightmares, which is a part of every Hadoop admin's life, I would say. Then understanding the issue through agent and server logs. Once the cluster is set up, what we would be doing? We would check, sometimes the name node goes down. That's a rare scenario if the memory is not properly configured, or there are a lot of other things, not just memory. It's the first point we refer, but there are a lot of other activities which would make the name node down. Or we may have a Hive metastore, which would not be able to handle the number of requests which are coming. And we may have Impala daemons configured with very less amount of RAM and other cores where the Impala is having more workload, so sometimes it goes down. There are a lot of issues day in, day out. We need to handle all these things. So we go to either a Cloud Manager server logs or agents log or the service logs, the job logs, yarn logs, lot of logs. We live with the logs. So that is one of the most important thing. And handling the metadata database. Sometimes you need to have a proper HA on the metadata. If not, one goes down, then you have to handle it in a different way. So that's one of the most important thing for any Hadoop admin. Then upgrading the cluster. There are different type of updates, major upgrades, minor upgrades, and then upgrading. Sometimes the component you expect may not be available in this patch. So you may have to uh, you may have to update a patch which is given by the service provider company. So all these are important thing. Daily operations, yeah, like you have to get the diagnostic report sometimes and give it to cloud or the support team for handling certain problems, and reports to the customer, your company, or to the customers, asking like the cluster is healthy these many days, all those things. Adding users to the ranger. Sometimes I may have if it is properly integrated with the AD, I don't have much problem. But if not, then we have to manually add it and then modify the permissions. Handling HDFS data, that is one of the most important thing. The HDFS policies have to be set, and then yarn jobs. And you have to see sometimes that, and one of the most, I would say the the pittiness on Hadoop admin is whatever happens in the cluster or whatever happens even in the job of developer, the first blame comes to Hadoop admin. The job is not running admin, you have done something. And if something is not working, if the tea is hot, they would say Hadoop admin, this is your problem. So that's how some of the people work. So it's all kind of a blame game we have to accept, and that's a part of life again. Optimizations on services job, sometimes the services perform poor, or sometimes the services get into the typical amber sign where we have to look on. If not, some one day it would be having a bigger problem. So solving the issues, the postponing is always harm for us. And Unix operations are unique. We need to know where sometimes the Unix team would do an upgrade or some patch in components. We have to be validating that with with the CDP or any other providers. What is that support matrix? So that is one of the most important thing. Likewise, network. Sometimes certain upgrades are not supported, are not yet supported. So you also have to update your patches to a minor release. All these, if not, they do something, and next day your cloud manager is not running. So it's all interconnected. So it's not just a work. I go sit happy, stay alive, watch Netflix. That's not the life. Okay, this is the firefighting. So this is actually a very complex work, and the amount of stress is more here because you hold the responsibility of the whole data infrastructure, Hadoop infrastructure. So it's not a very easy task, but at later point of time, when the Hadoop entity becomes literally monopoly, handled by a single company, innovation becomes less. This is a common problem. When you have a aggressive competition within yourself, you compete and add more value, more components, and also the adoption of cloud plays a very vital role here. Every companies wants to have a cost reduction because buying a hardware on premise, putting it in the data center, you have to allocate a space, you need to have a center operation teams, ACs, DR, and then you need to have a clear Unix team, network team. All these different teams are required in case you are bringing your on premises. In cloud, you have, first of all, cloud initially started with cloud VMs, then the cloud has a managed services where you have a very good thing that they provide you high availability. You don't have to be worried, which means that administrator is not at all required there. Just a cloud admin, common guy is okay. If something happens, they take care of it, and they assure 99.9% accuracy, which means a high availability. And even if we have a cluster with 4 of Hadoop admins, we have this problem. Sometimes it goes down. So we cannot assume 99% high availability, but they are doing it because of the services integrations, proper pipeline around to it, and monitoring tools which are coming along with the cloud. That's the reason why the cloud is having more demands, and it's all easy for the company to provision. It's all easy for the company to operate and less downtime. All these are the factors which made companies to move towards cloud. Also, every cloud companies are having their local data center and majority of their hotspot regions, which are more important. Even in UAE right now, there are two data centers. Saudi Arabia is having multiple data centers. There are some data centers coming up, which means you can even have DR within the country. In that scenario, every company prefers that, because some of the companies would have a data security policies where you cannot host the data outside the country or outside the continent. If it is Europe, it has to. Some countries are needs data to be within the country. Some countries are okay even if it is the West Europe or different countries. But in this part of the world, UAE, the different Gulf region, the data have to be within the region. In India, we have multiple data centers. That's not a problem. So it's all that brings ease of decision making for the countries, that I have two data center, one here and one there. That's okay. I can move to cloud, and operation wise, cost wise, a lot of things. That's the reason why companies are aggressively getting into cloud, and also the focus on the Hadoop cluster or the Hadoop operations are becoming less. And the next important thing is Databricks has given everything very properly. Now Microsoft Fabric is having Azure Synapse data analytics and data engineering, which is again a very good bundle with one lakehouse concept. That you have Delta, everything properly set up, and ease of using. Just click a notebook. I don't have to write a complex job, submit the jar file, and then watch it on Uzi. Complex, man. So because earlier it was easy, but now because of the various other things, this particular protocol, this particular set of work is very complex. Because everybody wants to have a simple life, simple UI, simple process, simple orchestration. So here is the problem. That's the reason why the core companies are preferring to move out of a Hadoop infrastructure and become a cloud agnostic company. And then the companies wants to move it maybe in future. Most of the companies, or I would say like 50% of the companies, have already started using cloud, and they are just waiting for the CDP license to be over, so that they can start deprovisioning it. Or you could have said the company started moving to GCP or Azure or AWS. So it's all started, and few companies in UAE also started. They started with advanced analytics, LLM, which means that once it's just like a flavor of a sugar. If a set of ants can sense there is a sugar, then you could see thousands of ants there. Same thing here. If one company or one bank starts using, and they say that, okay, I have a data security, I have everything there, and the next Middle East conference or EMEA conference, if they present, okay, this is a cloud agnostic bank where we are satisfying 15 or 200 cloud security features within the cloud itself, that's it. So be very sure. That's the reason for the movement and the demands becoming less. Coming to the type of Hadoop administrators. Some of the Hadoop administrators, because I have interviewed a lot last year, because we were having a lot of demands. We are running a professional service company. So some of the admins would have end-to-end cluster creation experience, which means from the parcel from creating a local repository of parcel to setting up Kerberos TLS integrations, everything. So that is one set of people who knows end to end of Hadoop administration. You ask them some bugs, even they would say, okay, go and check this log. You would see that. One of my friend who worked for Cloudera and also now is out of Cloudera for a different company. Sometimes I just send a snippet and he says, okay, this is the problem. That kind of expertise. Okay, so there are people who are actually very, very well. I mean, like end to end. That's what the most important thing. End to end Hadoop administrators. The next set of people, support and operations, they would have either a cluster administrator access or sometimes the admin access, but they are restricted to only few things. Some of the cluster administrators don't even do restart actually, because they need to get approvals, and the L2, L3 team would do it. But yeah, it has a different limitations based upon the organizations. So support and operations are one set of people. Optimizations, patches, and more debug. Sometimes some people works on L3 where they take the bug, they create certain things. And the next is platform engineers, where they would be handling multiple other platforms along with Hadoop. Sometimes, okay, I would be handling Postgres also, Teradata, or I know one of Hadoop admin is handling the Power BI report server. So it's all like that's kind of thing. And the next set of people is one man army. Give anything, they do. So ask them to update the cluster, ask them to uh, configure policies, ask them to sometimes even write a job, optimize the job with SQL. This is a rare piece. There are set of people where it's like one out of blue moon. This set of people arrive and they handle everything, and sometimes some of them are highly stressed because whatever happens, they are getting blamed. Some of them are very special in the organization because without them, nobody gets confident. So these are type of Hadoop administrators normally. Skill exploration. Now coming to the skills of Hadoop administrators, I know that Hadoop administrators know certain level of SQL and Python, because Hive jobs are there, Spark SQL is there. So I would say like out of 10, the Hadoop administrators are already good with between 3 and 6. This is on average. I would say 3 and 6 or 3 and 7. Between 3 and 7, the Hadoop administrators are having SQL and Python knowledge. Python is definitely good. Some of them are very good in Python, but when it comes to SQL, yes. I This is again an average, because I know some Hadoop administrators who are very good in SQL. Sometimes they solve the queries better than the developers. That's a different story. Each and every areas are having different set of people. And Unix shell scripting, definitely 100%. I would say Unix shell scripting is the heart for all the Adobe administrators do mostly work on the black screen with Unix commands, shell scripts, and all those things. And I know that you are not going to just do Hadoop administration. Sometimes, most of the companies will have CI/CD components like GitHub, Jenkins, Terraform. You must be knowing about Docker and Kubernetes, which became one of the most important thing on the virtualization and on the pod-based processing. So that's one of the most important thing. The next is unique and network administrations. I know people in my company, even some of them. So in my company itself, people know certain Unix optimizations, network administration, where sometimes we inform the customer that this is a problem in the Unix. You have to reach out to the Unix team and solve this. Hadoop administrators definitely know the architecture of Spark and Kafka. Maybe some of you would have not explored it much on the job wise, PySpark, how the job works. DAG, I know some administrators know how to debug the errors or optimization issues from the DAG itself. So it's all one of the part of the skill. And about Teradata, Postgres, or any other databases very well. So you must be working as a DBA before, so you must be knowing it. And the scheduling tools like uh, Control M and various other components which are part of every companies, or you must be knowing about Airflow, Orchestrator, Uzi. Uzi is integrated one. And some of you knows about BI, Power BI, Tableau, or MicroStrategy. And I heard, I can say, I can let you know that like nearly 30 to 40% of the Hadoop admins have some basic skills on ETL job, how it works, because most of the time the ETL teams connects to the administrator and say this particular job is not running, the connectivity is not there. So you must be having some vision about how Informatica works or Talent works, what kind of things they have. So these are the skills you already either have it or you are closely associated to it. So you're not new to anything. You already have some skills which you can check and uh, validate it. So somebody comes and say become a data engineer, you get 50 lakhs. You have to think about it. What are the current skills I have about data as a scientist? Let's think, because data scientist is also a nice job which you have to. If you are more interested and based upon everybody's interest, you can take it. There is nothing wrong in starting anything from zero at any point of time in life, but we have to analyze and even also think about easy hit. So let's do that. because the job market is also not very high. Until June, India, any companies won't announce much ramp downs, but they do it. You know the reason of until June because of the changes or the activities and other, not because of IPL, okay? Because of the announcement happened last time week about the elections. So until June, you will not hear about much job downs, but there are happening, okay? So relevant roles for a Hadoop administrator, it could be in order, it could be not in order because it's my ordering, which you may have a different idea. DevOps, DataOps, CloudOps, these are one of the most important or interesting thing for any Hadoop administrator. Again, another firefighting work, okay, where you need to have the same blood pressure and you need to have same enthusiasm. Okay. The next is cloud administrator. Yes, this is again yet another job which is not more in the market, but this can be one of the thing. Data engineer. Anytime anybody asks about, okay, what should be my next a job, a role which I can take is data engineer. Yes, data engineer is a very good role, but you have to be prepared very good on you need to, first of all, you should be very good on SQL, because right now we are having a lot of data engineering requirement. We have a lot of projects running on data engineering, but the problem right now is even somebody who claims they are very good in Spark are not writing SQL queries. Uh, because SQL plays a vital role here. You know, Spark SQL, everything is becoming SQL entity. So your basics on SQL is the most important thing. And customers, even if we send some of the profiles to the customer, the first round interview itself, they're asking a lot of SQL questions related to self-join, fastest time to the station, and various other, let's say, how do you solve this scenario? This is the input, this is the output. What query you write? So the scenarios and what are the optimizations you have done, perform, what kind of bugs you have faced on the pipelines which are having so and so data. It's all you need to be very good in SQL first. Okay, I will let you know what are the skills required for a few of these roles. Next is ETL developer. Okay, see, I'm seeing that few people have got into ETL testing or test because it's slightly closely related. But this ETL or data testing job is also having a lot of automations coming on. So please be sure when you land, at least you need to have a next 3-4 years scope for on your job. So ETL developer in the sense like you learn about Informatica, IaaS cloud, because Power Center is almost gone where Informatica is promoting IaaS. You have talent and other ETL components which are really good in the market. You can become a data analyst. That is one of the good role. Data analyst in the sense, not it depends upon your year of experience also. If you're young and you want to start with certain things on data, you can even start with data analyst. BI developer, this is an everlasting role. Okay, so this BI, Power BI, Tableau, you have Click. All these are actually ruling the market, and there is a separate skill required for it. Like you need to have a proper design idea, and you need to have SQL. Again, SQL is the most important thing. So BI developer is one of the role. Business analyst. Let's say take a business. You already work for a healthcare company, or you already work for a bank. You must be knowing certain business area. Okay, this is how corporate investment banking work. This is how retail banking work. This is how these are the PI data which have to be handled. So you are already doing some, you know certain things because your cluster. You need to set up ACL policies for all the things, and you need to set up the governance against it through Ranger or Range KMS. All these things are more important things. So you already know certain things. So you can even become a business analyst. The superhero of any company, data architect. Yes, you know better about this infrastructure, you know better about the architecture, you know what to do, what not to do. So you have to, if you are kind of 10 plus years or 11, 12 plus years experience, you can definitely target this role because, but for that, you again have to know about cloud, you need to know about NoSQL because that plays a vital role. Sometimes like I took some time to prove one thing about for a use case. There was a use case where a customer wants to know which one to use, if it is Couchbase, Cosmos DB, or BigQuery. So these kind of architect decision, you cannot say, oh, I like GCP, I can take BigQuery. That's not the which for the specific use case you have to analyze how much amount of data, what would be the refresh time of the use data coming from upstream, what would be the consumer applications refresh required, what are the ETA for a job to be run. It's all bigger things to be taken, and every tool has to be assessed. You have to do POC on the tools, and then because the company's investment is most vital, and each and every companies are running on a business which are having high competition. So we have whatever, even a millisecond we save is a profit in millions for the company. So that is what at a certain, let's say, healthcare or infra, what is that, retail or another areas, finance, where each and every millisecond matters. So the data architect is a vital role where you need to know what have to be properly placed, and you should be totally out of your ego and focus on the actual need. Because I have seen data architect personally suggesting certain tool, and when it comes to specific justification, the justifications are not very good, because they know this tool, they worked on it. That doesn't mean you cannot have a same tool doing multiple things, which is even stressing the tool. Okay. And the next important, interesting, I would say this is most interesting if you are a mature data engineer or Hadoop admin, or you can even take a data governance role where you can talk learn about DAMA data governance policies which are available in the internet, or you can take up you can start learning about what are the data governance and master data management activities each and every companies have to do, or connect with the MDM or data governance set of people. Or I would be connecting you with one expert. He's right now in Qatar. He just joined a new company, so I couldn't pull him this month and next month. Hopefully, end of April, I will be connecting with him. He's a PhD and a data governance guy. I'll definitely bring him here for the session. So we can have a clear details about how the data governance and the companies are doing data governance activities. So that's one thing. And data delivery manager, if you are again a mature data engineer, and if you are having 10, 15 years of experience, you can, and you are more dynamic on to delivery, you can even run a team and get into the data delivery. So there are different relevant roles within the data itself. See, I'm not focusing on data science, which is which I consider a separate domain, and that needs a separate a set of thought process, learning basics. Because the first, okay, nobody reveals this, or they don't want to say if they are selling a training course to you on data science. You need to be very good on statistics, basics, mathematics, and the algorithms, which nobody says and nobody teaches. Where maybe they teaches on a uh, just to uh, cover certain things, they teaches you, but that should be the basics. That's why this Coursera founder who's that, I forgot the name. So that particular course is there where Andrew Ng. So he started with the basic of uh, uh, statistics and mathematics required for any data scientist. So you have to start from the basic. If not, what happens is you will be knowing how to write a logistic regression, but you will not know where to implement it. Because I have seen some data science interviews where people they knows everything about how to do a logistic regression, Monte Carlo simulation, what kind of analysis, what kind of model, everything. But where to use what is the most important thing, and you cannot say, oh, I use logistic everywhere, or I used linear regression. All these things are kind of if you're very strong in math, doesn't. I'm not blaming that you cannot do it, but you have to be very clear on basics. Starting from the basics, you have to be very clear because you are already in a comfortable position as a Hadoop admin. You know every basics. When you get into a new role, also you have to understand it. So that's what most important thing. Any course which you are learning from zero, you have to understand whether the module covers the basics, or you learn the basics and take the module. Don't jump into next day and pay some lakhs of money and uh, join the course where you get excitement for next 10 days, okay, of the course, but after that you lose the excitement because you will be not able to connect the dots. So that is the most important thing when you learn any courses. So spend money or learn from internet, or learn through your friends, learn through the book. It's all your way of doing, but you have to know the basics. Technologies to be added for any data area, I would say, or normally if you want to get into the Hadoop administration from if you want to get out of Hadoop administration and become a data engineer or a data any other component. I mean, let's say we'll go one by one. SQL is the most important thing. You have to be. This is something like your mother tongue. Okay, so if you are becoming a data engineer, this is your mother tongue. So without your mother tongue, you cannot talk at all. Okay, so this is the most important thing because I'm seeing people are lagging here. Nobody is teaching proper SQL if they are offering a big data course or better is take hacker rank challenge and solve the scenarios. You have a lot of scenarios. Likewise, code bases, a lot of other portals are there. Take the scenarios and solve it. I could see like if somebody post about this is the SQL questions and don't just read it. Take install a MS SQL or there are some cloud tools which are available. W3 School, I think they have a cloud tool. So you can just go and write the query and check because you know the concept is not going to give you value. You know how to write, how to solve it and visualize it is the most important thing because that gives you more value. The next is cloud platform. Cloud platform, I would say yesterday I posted something about Microsoft Challenge where Microsoft is providing one of the best course, but you have to spend a minimum of 3.5 hours to 4 hours per day and for the continuous 30 days to get into those concepts and none of the concepts which you are learning there will be taught better by anybody else. I'm sure. I'm a trainer, I know that because that those are properly covered and everything as per the expectations of Microsoft and they have a quality. Okay, so which means you can do it as free. You don't have to become a you if you want to become a DP 203 or a AZ some other certificate where you can just go through it and start from the basics. They provide everything. Likewise, AWS, GCP, everybody have free training resources where you can take even a cluster for the infrastructure for free for the 30 or 60 days. You can learn it. Please get into cloud. Don't ever delay. Okay, you have some other enrollments courses or something, just try to finish it or try to spend some 3-4 hours. This is the biggest investment and it's free of cost. Okay, so the next is ETL tool. Yes, ETL tools like Informatica Talent, yes, you may have to spend some money and learn it because first of all the licenses are costly and the people who teach or Informatica, they have a different subscription where if you want to learn a ETL, you have to you can focus on Informatica or Talent. The next is Power BI. Power BI you can learn from Microsoft. Power BI is right now Fabric bundle. It comes under Fabric bundle where Power Pro licenses are given to the Fabric bundle set of people. So Power BI again, you have everything available on Microsoft. Click Tableau, you can learn from. They are also providing free subscriptions. All those things. NoSQL. Coming to the NoSQL, you have Couchbase, which is now very good. MongoDB. Cassandra is not that great now. The market for Cassandra has come down, but Couchbase is having very good thing. And you also have graph databases which are coming, and Neo4j, like these are becoming popular now. A lot of tools. I am talking to one person who has an invention actually. Like maybe I don't know like what would take me there. What would be the future for me there in case if I collaborate with him? But there is a invention on which proves faster than Databricks. So I'm all on a talk with him and we are understanding what can be the next. He's also having some investment, but he wants to build a dedicated uh, business flow for it. So that's something which I am trying to collaborate with them. Likewise, the tools are evolving. A lot of new things are coming. We have Spark, Kafka, and other distributed systems. Spark is the most important thing. Learning Spark, you can. I am also planning to release a set of videos. Covers good portion of Spark from April 15. Uh, or you can take the internals of Spark book and do it, or you have a lot of videos available in the internet, and you can have a lot of instructors who are teaching. You can check whoever is preferred for your budget and also your frequency matches. So you have people who are teaching Spark and Kafka. The next is DevOps. If you want to become a DevOps engineer, you need to know Unix first, Jenkins, Cloud. DevOps without cloud is of no demand now. DevOps with cloud is the most important thing. So you should know cloud. You should get into this Jenkins, Ansible. Ansible is the most important. Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Jira, Maven. It's all based upon which flavor you take. You have a dependency tool within this set of tool. The next is Informatica Axon, EDC or MDM tools. So there is a typo. It's not tools. So MDM tools have to be you need to know so that you can become a data engineer or a cloud practitioner, ETL developer, BI developer. You can become a data architect, DevOps. So whatever things we have given here, you can actually become. Uh, that's what I my mission is to host a lot of sessions and bring the people together, make them clearly understand the need of the town, which means the current need for any skill, because every components or everything in the market has a material or a set of people who are training set up the basics. When it comes to the industry is totally different, because even I was training, and I told my sales team not to tell that you could definitely get a job by my course. I used to tell them this is an eye-opening session where you can get a job, but you have to practice a lot and you need to cover a few more things. I'm teaching basics to intermediate, but most of the companies now are asking for certain skills which you have to spend at least 2-3 months or 4 months dedicatedly, 3 to 4 hours, at least 5 days a week. So you have to park that time and you have to spend some time on learning. Learning is the most important thing in IT. It's like an oxygen. But you know one thing, you have to understand, you have to put a career path. If you want some help, you can definitely ping me in LinkedIn. We can connect. I till now, since Thursday, I connected with almost I think today morning also I connected with the one guy. Before this, 10 people. Okay. So 10 people I've connected, and I have Sunday, I don't know, I have a full day meeting, so I didn't accept anything. Monday, I have 6 requests. So I'll be connecting with the people, and I'm talking to them, helping them, understanding their profile, all those things. So you can definitely reach out to me. So I'll give you a plan. Maybe it's not, doesn't mean like my plan you have to take. I'm just giving you my suggestion. You can take it or not. You have some better people who can give a different suggestion. It's all your choice. Okay, your life, your choice, but people can suggest you, people can help you. I can bring those people, or I can be a person who can connect with you and do it. So job demands, the first highest job demand is for data engineers. It will always increase because the demand and the modernization of data is always high. DevOps, data ops, cloud ops will have some good demand. Data architect and delivery manager, senior profiles, you will have demands. Data governance specialist, I would say this should come on last actually, because you have 100 data engineers, you will be having one or two data governance. Then BI ETL developer, yes, as equal to a data engineer, you will have BI and ETL team also. Need will be there. But you know, nowadays many organizations, the data engineer itself is having BI ETL actually. I know one guy who can do talent and Power BI. That's a different story. He is superhuman. But you know, the data engineers itself, they are doing this ETL side, because you know you have ADF and you can do the data processing in Databricks by writing SQL query. You don't need an Informatica or a talent in such case where the ETL developer itself is not required, where the data engineer itself solve the problem. So it's all mix and match. Okay. Cloud administrator is also having good demand. So these are the jobs which are actually increasing on the demand. Maybe I have missed out few things, no, because I just prepared this very fast yesterday, because the session which was scheduled today went to next week because of my friend's family loss. So we'll discuss. Now we come to the greatest part of this session, which is Q&A. So let's start this Q&A. I can, or give me a minute. I will let me open. Sometimes people write it on chat also. So, okay. So let us start with the Q&A. You can either ask in chat or you can unmute and talk, but it's preferred to have one person talking at a time. So if somebody is, or you can even raise a hand so that uh, we can do it one by one. Please go ahead.
Hi, Namita, Azim here.
Hey, Azim.
So one quick question.
Sure.
So, anyways, I'm obviously working as a Hadoop administrator, and
Mhm.
since we know like some demand is rare nowadays,
Correct.
so yeah, I've started upgrading my skills into DevOps part. But yeah,
Mhm,
since I
mhm.
have more than 9 years of experience, so I'm a bit confused about the site reliability engineering part and DevOps part. So
Okay.
I'm a bit
Site
confused in
reliability.
this role. So
Okay. One of my friend who is a site
yeah,
reliability engineer who wants to become a DevOps engineer. Okay. Because he is more finding that DevOps interesting. See, it's again his personal opinion, but when you have a site reliability engineer or you have a release engineer, this that role again you have 30 to 40% related to the pipelines releases and high availability of pipelines, all those things. So I would say if you want to have a good long term things, you can get into DevOps as per my opinion, because it another firefighting job, it another same interesting job if you like your Hadoop administrator work. With you can see the let's say I know in my company we have one senior DevOps person who was actually integrating a LLM tool. Okay, so he configured, he did everything. He coordinated with Microsoft, uh, all the end to end, which means these opportunities are very rare even now. If you say his profile is actually having a very good demand. So I would personally recommend DevOps because it has a lot of great things, and you will be the tools. So tools wise also, most of the tools are having similar languages, or I would say ease for you. Same black screen most of the time, and you can get a good transition there.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Prakash, I am a Hadoop admin with 5 years, but I don't have SQL and scripting knowledge. I'm afraid of learning coding. SQL. Oh, Prakash, you have to do one thing. I would say, see, DevOps or data engineer is a different scenario, but you have to learn SQL. That is important thing for you on a long term. Learning SQL, don't first of all, don't get afraid to learn anything, because this is your 5 years of experience. So you have long run to go in IT. The reason why many people prefer data engineer is it's a one-time thing where you become a data engineer, you are a lifelong data engineer. In one or other way, you will be having a new tool coming that will also have SQL. Like earlier, if you see, you're Hadoop administrator with 5 years, right? 2016, or sorry, 2016 is more than 5 years. Okay. Consider 2019 or 2018. What we do, we write the Spark code on Scala, Python. Nobody understand. No, none of the Hadoop admins or a very less amount of Hadoop admin understand the code. One second. Connect the charger. So very less Hadoop admins understand such code. But now you see everywhere people are writing Spark SQL. So the jobs are actually in Databricks, it's Spark SQL become very easy way to create, orchestrate, and all those things. So that is one of the most important things. So better try to come out of your thought, learn SQL. If you want, if you learn SQL, you can clear it, or you have to learn Kubernetes, Docker, Terraform, all those things, become a DevOps. So both are really good role. But one advantage of data engineer is you have a long term in the sense it's one time transition, and you can go with a little bit learning. But DevOps, tomorrow there would be another new methodology would comes where you have to learn everything from the start. That is a kind of I don't say, I never say this disadvantage for full stack engineers and DevOps. You always have to learn new complete frameworks. So you take a full stack engineer, they may have to learn React, Angular 8 comes with Angular 10. Likewise, sometimes they may have to take a complete different route. Likewise, DevOps. Okay. But if it is a data engineer, it is something like SQL, and you have one time you finish it and you have a long term. Okay. Others?
Naveen,
Hey, hi
Saurabh here.
Navneet. Oh, so sorry.
I have around 15 years of experience as a database admin, and
Mm-hmm.
currently I am learning Azure Databricks and ADF and SQL. So, what is the role of AI in the future? Like, we should learn something LLM and dissolve, or it is not related to data engineer, or it is
Okay,
not?
see, yeah, as a data engineer, definitely this is your next step. Whatever you want to take can be an AI, a machine learning kind of thing. LLM takes Databricks is having an integrated LLM system where you don't have to pull any external LLM APIs and do it. Databricks itself is having an LLM where you can take it and have the response system integrated. So here, I would suggest you one good thing that based upon my current experiences, if you are doing cloud LLM, make sure that the services are available within the region, because sometimes when you take the system from one location to the other system, your data security matters. So that is one important thing. But if you are already getting into data engineering, cloud data practices, and AI is yet another wing for you where you can definitely but learn the basics. That's what Andrew went his basic statistics course. Learn it, understand it. If you have questions, you can even understand and I mean talk to the relevant people and have it clear. So that is one of the most important, because you have good experience. If you have all these skills, you can become a data architect or delivery manager, which will be it another few years will be having smoother life for you. Definitely, I should not say smoother life when you are in IT, but you have a better career with all those things.
Okay, so instead of like going towards LLM after ADF and Databricks, I should focus on data architect. You are saying, right?
You can actually, doesn't mean like you don't have to learn LLM. LLM, you can learn. You can even take hands-on and do it. You can do it on your own and try it. That's it. There is when at your level of skill, if you have such kind of extra skills, or I would say the skills around the ecosystem, you are the star.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Raman.
Navneet Karthik.
Yes, Karthik.
Yeah, actually, just out of curiosity, I'm asking. I'm an ETL engineer. Okay, so I used to work within Oracle Data Integration and Azure Data Factory. Sometimes, I have little experience with PySpark as well. But in the Middle East market, how this is, I'm just keep posting my profiles, updating everywhere. The calls are very less. I'm seeing, it's getting rejected. If I'm posting it in India, I will get number of calls. But here it is.
Okay, Middle East
totally
data market is actually a weird one. Last week I was talking about it. See, you need to have some reference, or if you have reference, you can easily, or I would say that fastly go through. It's not easy. It's fastly you can go through the interview process. There are now companies asking for uh, people without reference, where I heard like some of my friends who are already here, they received a call from few companies last week.
Okay.
But this month, Ramadan month, there will be less demand because the work time is lesser. Maybe after April, you can actually get some of the call. But Oracle is having very good demand, because here the many companies are still running on Oracle, and the cloud movement is slightly slow, right? So Oracle will have next 4 5 years. Informatica, if you are looking for any Informatica kind of stuff, Power Center is still there. IACS migration has not happened. Likewise, Talent is also having some 20-30% proportion. So ETL, yes, I would say that you ping me your profile in LinkedIn, so I can see if some banks, whatever whoever we work, if we have a relevant profile, we'll call you and we'll connect. But if you have people here, you ask them to refer your profile. That will go faster. See, it's a
building network
practice.
as well, but still I
Yeah.
understand. I have heard it, but thanks. I will ping you.
The practice here, you cannot break it immediately. People have referred their friends and families, and it became a practice. So, but when the more demands are coming, right? Here also, companies are looking for talent, and they are looking for diversity. Even some job roles, they want people from Europe or US. From Western experiences, they are preferring, because they want to have they don't want Indians everywhere, or Desis everywhere, I would say. The Desis in the sense India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. This set of people, they want to mix with Europe, so that they will have a diversity. Because I know I have my friend who is a Pakistani, but he's also considered as Desi, where they were asking no Indians, no Pakistans. I need a specific. If I get a European, I'll be having more happy for this role. A HR told me this. Specifically mentioned it. So that's
Yeah,
that's how it is.
okay. Okay. Anyway, I'll ping you. I tried to reach you on it.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Okay, so Rupam was raising his hand. Please, Rupam.
Yeah, hi Navneet. I'm working as Cloudra admin right now
Mhm.
in my company for 7 years, and now they are asking me to move into take Informatica admin as a course, and start helping them as Informatica admin. Is it something which is good, and is it something where I can move forward? Like
Rupam, you
take.
should actually move forward because your company is valuing you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because it's very easy for a company to say go and look for a job or learn yourself and come with a
Uh-huh.
different skill. But your company is giving you a very good option. Nice environment you have, I would say. Not 90% of the people won't get this. So it is good. If you get this opportunity, you are one of the luckiest person.
Okay, and it will be good in the future to get I'll
Definitely,
be
definitely.
so I'll there are jobs for Informatica admin in the market.
See, Informatica Power Center admin, this will go for you just check whether it is Informatica Power Center
BDM.
or
It is BDM.
IACS.
BDM. It is BDM.
BDM has a good thing. I have my close friend, she's an Informatica admin, BDM.
Mm-hmm.
So she's working for a healthcare company, and it's like she doesn't have any problem in a job. So this gives you one thing, but always Rupam, take this as an immediate rescue, like putting a paracetamol or a Dolo for for the initial thing. But keep a track on this development or data ops or data science as per your wish, because the development activities at one point what happened is all these companies, when they sell license next time, they have to show some optimization, because that is the company goal, and also they have to give customers satisfaction that my license is saving you so and so money. So what they do is they'll try to automate everything. The first person who gets
Mm-hmm.
affected due to automation is administrator.
Yes.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
keep for a shorter period. Let's say for you to have not having a great risk on your job, get into the Informatica BDM administration. That is good actually.
Okay.
Not where no, I mean, like comparing to Hadoop admin, that is good. Okay, and that has some
Okay.
future. And but on a long term, you should have a different track also. Spend some time on learning SQL. If you get into Informatica BDM, you have to definitely learn SQL. That's a different story, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to do certain other activities. You need to know how the data pipeline works. So you will be exposed to certain extra thing. Let's say if you are 30% data engineer, if you get into Informatica, you will be 50% data engineer because of the tool, and then learn
Okay.
the rest.
That sounds good. Thank you, Navneet.
Thank you. And we have one person. Hi, Navneet. I'm a fresh grad and recently got my placement as big data engineer. Here we are using CDP. Should I do CDP certification or go to other cloud? Yes, the certification. If you are already using CDP, because it's the certification of Cloudera is not very uh, great for you. Rather, if you focus on any Azure or GCP, that will be good on a future, because you already work on CDP. You know how Spark works. You know how to deploy a job. You know how Airflow, Uzi, and all those things, orchestrations. Or if you're doing public cloud, you must be knowing how basic stuff works. So it's all okay. Better when you are good at something. If you are not if you're looking for some different area, do certificate on that particular area. That's why I told you, right? Microsoft has a challenge where you can take 3-4 hours a day and then do it, or GCP has a separate portal which helps you on certifications. So it's better to do a certification on a different one, because, and one more thing, if you're getting into Azure certification or GCP or AWS, you have the same Spark everywhere. So what's the difference? You just have to write the Spark code on notebook rather than writing it on a script. Or sometimes even Cloudera is having notebooks. Some companies have configured it, Zeppelin, and properly doing it. So it's all same. Okay, Prakash, depends upon where you are actually. AWS or Azure. If it is Gulf, Azure is good. If it is US, both are good. If it is some part, and also the companies, some of them prefers BigQuery, so GCP. I would say on the market wise, Azure has good market share. AWS is also good, but I would say Azure has a very good market share. Fahad, I have 2 years of experience in big data admin. I was laid off 6 months ago. There was no almost Fahad. That's the sad story of everybody. That's why I'm having this session here. Okay, many people are not getting calls because even a 10-year guy who got laid off with good Linux and all those experiences, a lot of big data, no calls or less calls. And if you are, and one more thing, guys, I'm telling this to everybody. This if you are actually applying for any Middle East job, you would have a call saying that pay 500 dirhams, which is 11,000 Indian rupees or equivalent. So and then get into a job interview. Please don't do that. This is one of the scam happening here. So Middle East jobs, if you want, you can ask me. I can give you a clarification that whether it is the right job or not, a right consultancy or not. But please don't pay any money for any job. None of I have a manpower consulting. It's not manpower. It's like I have a T&M section where we also supply people to the companies on a 1 year, 6 months contract. We give good salary. That's a different story. So we never ask any money to anybody. We actually spend money for visa and onboard the people. There is nobody asks money for visa also, because if it is a good company, they will take you for and they calculate everything from the margin they get. So that's one thing. But Fahad, you have to learn, Fahad. You have to learn SQL or get into a different thing, because if you are looking for a Hadoop admin job, consider you are in a queue more than 1,000 people before you, minimum. Okay, so you can enroll in Hadoop administration. That is always a good option. Please dedicate your time. Don't get demotivated. This will give you an option.
Hello,
And
hi,
Mutasir here. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
this Ajay.
Yes,
I do
Ajay.
5+ years of experience in big data admin.
Mm-hmm.
So if we move to cloud,
Mm-hmm.
will the same task will be done on the same like for the role
Okay.
for cloud engineer, or what type of role we can search for it?
Okay, very good question. See, in cloud also we have cloud administrator. In the cloud administrator, what you have to do is you have to provision. Because the cloud provision is not any challenging task. It's just create services. You should have a dependent services. Sometimes the cloud itself will do everything. So that is one thing where the cloud administrator, you may have to properly align the policies. You may have to properly allocate the resources to the specific people. And not, in Hadoop, we have to do a lot of things. So, but in cloud administration, again, the role is if you need 5 Hadoop administrators, you in cloud, you just need 2 of them, which means the job itself has been automated a lot on a administration side. Coming to the development, development in cloud is much easy when compared to the on-premises, because in on-premises, consider a Kafka job or a streaming job, you have to write. You need to write it as a script, execute it, or you need to have, if it is a Scala, you have to uh, compile it on the IntelliJ or other tool. Then you have to extract the jar file, put the jar file, schedule it in Uzi. So it's a complicated thing. But whereas in the cloud, if it is AWS or Azure, you have this ADF and you have other orchestration services, which makes your life simple. Where Databricks has all the connectors directly to ADF, where you can have the notebook directly assigned to it. So okay, on a certain proposal, what we do is we get proposal against Cloudera and AWS or Cloudera and Azure. On the project plan itself, we put 30 to 20 to 30% lesser time for Azure, which means the ease of development on Azure is actually good, or AWS is fast when compared to the on-premises. So did I answer you, Ajay?
Yes, but I could say like the opportunity is much lesser, like the cloud admin, right?
Cloud admin, that's what I gave you the answer again. If you need 5 Hadoop admin, 2 cloud admins. So again, you are in a short balloon only. You're not in a very big opportunity space. So in that case, you can actually become a DevOps. DevOps is becoming a vital. Every area needs DevOps, not just data. A proper or what is it? Application development needs a proper DevOps pipeline. So that is one interesting thing. And based upon your experience, you can put some effort and get into the data engineering also. So
Could you suggest any certification on DevOps or else in data engineering?
Okay, so what I'll do is April second week, I will pull my DevOps expert here for a call. Okay, a separate session where he will let you know what are the certifications, because he is already a certified guy. He worked for Microsoft and various other companies where he knows about. He will be the right person to help you. I can just direct you. See, I'm not a person for everything. Okay, so I will bring the people. That's why I'll bring the people and make them make certain statement to them.
Sure. Thanks, Navati. It helps a lot for me.
Hey, hi Navneet. I am Prashant Gupta this side. I having a total 9.4 years experience and as a Hadoop admin 6.4 years experience.
Mhm.
So currently I'm looking for job change.
So if you are a Hadoop admin and looking for job change, you are I don't want to mention it again. It's kind of a restricted zone now, and also limited amount of people are required. So what if you are immediately looking for job change, then without, I mean, if you have some time or 1 or 2 months, I would suggest you to go through any one of the career path. You can decide you want to go with the DevOps or data engineer or any other role. But the job demand for Hadoop admin is actually less, because even we have we had a job demand last week. We closed with the internal team itself, which means there was a customer who cancelled the contract because they don't want Hadoop admins. We added those people to a different contract, which means that was supposed to be a job for outside, but unfortunately one of our customer, they told, okay, we have an internal team now, we don't want a professional service. So that's one thing once again. So certain demands are actually getting less, and some customers are even closing their contracts. uh, Either they have Azure or AWS, or they have internal teams. So it's all, you have to take a different route for your safety, Prashant.
So in that we can add DevOps things also, so we can get job easily.
See, you can add anything and get a job, but you need to be skilled. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. You learn, do practice, and then add it. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Now.
Navneet,
Yeah,
I
hi
have one
Navneet.
more question.
Yeah,
Like,
guys, one by
as
one.
you have
One second.
mentioned,
Some wait, hold on. I think some of you have raised a hand. Let me better. Please raise a hand so that we'll have it in order. Mudassir have raised a hand for a long time. Go ahead, Mudassir.
Yeah, hi Navneet.
Hello.
Thanks for the session. So I just have a query. Like I was working as a Hadoop admin for around 6 years, and now I have moved to AWS. And with AWS, I'm working as a EMR support associate. So I'm looking for ways like how can I proceed in my career path, and how I just want to break this support cycle and get into something more in detail, like a consulting level on the cloud level, or something else where we can come out of the support cycle. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
See, for you to come out of the support, you are already in a data related things. EMR, you know how what is it? How the EMR jobs are deployed and what kind of activities it is doing. Do one thing. Start explore the business. Sit with your developer and understand what business problem they are solving. Okay. And then if you have that will be the most important thing, because when you go and claim yourself as a data engineer to other company, they will definitely ask a business question. So you have to understand. Okay, you can that, okay, you this is a bank and you work for a specific solution, but they will ask, is it for a specific application? Let's say the bank is having a relationship manager project or a product, or a bank is having a investment sales team product. So what would be your contribution to it? What you have done? So which means which business problem you solved? Okay, you have taken data from upstreams, which is a cloud, Zoom info, or any other customer related informations are coming from external things. And then I do a small analysis and I find this is the customer who can target for credit card, or who can target for a business loan. So how do you get it? That is what the business. So first understand the business, because few people are learning and they are coming from a different very good companies, but when we ask business questions, they have no idea because they have not that is one thing. And then please learn SQL because your EMR itself now you could see a lot of Spark jobs directly coming as SQL jobs. So I would suggest you learn the business and understand one or two flows, or you consider you are handling 50 EMR pipelines. Okay, understand the business of it, and just if you have a deployment document which clearly tells about LL low level design, go through it and take one job, ask a developer, shadow with him if possible. I'm not sure about your work environment how it is, but try to do this.
Yeah, actually, Navneet, I work at Amazon itself, so we work with multiple customers throughout the day. So we don't have much access to work with developers directly because our policy doesn't allow it. But try to grab as much details as possible, and learning SQL should be a good way ahead, right?
Definitely, definitely. Everybody here, okay? So everybody here should learn SQL because you should see, and see, and you have to practice. That is what, because I have taken interview for somebody who claimed that they are 8-star in SQL or 10-star, 9-star in SQL, but when it comes to solving the problems, they explore their weakness. So that is the reason why, see, learning SQL through videos or blogs or W3 schools are not learning. Practicing it is the learning here. Okay. In technology, going through a video or going through, you can see other person is doing it, the instructor is doing. Yes, the instructor has answer, not you. Okay. So you also have to practice. This is not a podcast. Okay, learning is not a podcast in IT. That is again, which one thing which I hate actually. Giving the technological coding podcast is stupid for as per me, because you have to practice. If something is okay for you to practice, fine. Because without practice, you are not learning it. So please, everybody, please learn SQL. And Saurabh, go ahead.
Yeah, Navneet. So, like many companies are using ADF with Databricks, and some are using with Synapse. So,
Mhm.
which is having more demand, Databricks or
Okay.
Synapse?
This is a very good question. Recently, 2 months ago, Microsoft have released a Fabric bundle, which consists of Synapse Data Engineering, Synapse Analytics, one Lakehouse, which consists of Delta and Lakehouse, also Power BI Pro bundle. Okay, so now Microsoft is internally going to compete with data. Okay, I'll tell you the story. In 2017, 2018, there was something called HT Insights, Microsoft HT Insights, which was based on Hortonworks. That worked very weird and that worked very bad, and we were not able to build anything on HD Insights. A lot of downtime. The Ambari based UI, it was only the UI was good. I mean, the Ambari was good. Other than that, everything went down. So what happened was Microsoft wanted to grow, and EMR was ruling that time, and they wanted to break this EMR myth. So they came up with Databricks, which means they were forced to take Databricks, which was a separate company, becoming very good, very easy. Development was actually, and they were having a lot of vision. So Microsoft just grabbed them, and they made earlier everybody were calling it as Azure Databricks. People thought Databricks is an internal. Most of them thought Databricks is an internal component of Microsoft, but that's a separate company. Then AWS also have Databricks GCP. What happened was, now once Databricks became very big company, and they made everything. The Delta is open source, Lakehouse is open source. Like what happened was, now Microsoft was having a product called Synapse, which was also very bad 3-4 years ago. Okay, if you ask somebody who did Synapse 3-4 years ago, they will, if they listen to the name itself, they'll have a slightly bad face. But Microsoft has taken very good research now, and they have this Synapse Data Engineering and Synapse Analytics with the same notebook. Okay, whatever notebook you have in Databricks, same interface, the same everything. Delta, Lakehouse, everything are integrated here, and they are now giving it as their own bundle, not a separate bundle. Because there are some customers who have because let's say we received an RFP for a bank in India. They told if they want to move from Teradata to cloud. Okay, but they don't allow any third party cloud components, which means Snowflake and Databricks are not allowed in that particular RFP. If it is cloud, it should be completely owned by the data cloud environment, because they explicitly told you whatever agreement you have with the third party company, don't come up with that. The proposal should have only the cloud component. So in that was actually not only this Indian bank, like Indian private banks demand, also many other entities also have the same thing, because they don't want to have a subcontract, all those things. It's all complicated. So now Microsoft is having this Synapse bundle, this Fabric bundle with Synapse. They are promoting this. So Databricks will also coexist, but Microsoft marketing strategies sometimes may break this Databricks myth and make people more towards, because earlier we were talking about Edge Insight, then we weren't happy with the Cloudera Spark, then Databricks Spark came. So this will evolve. So both are existing now. Synapse, they are promoting, but I would sense that Synapse will have more traction than Databricks in future. But 3-4 years, but there is no difference for developer.
Okay, because like mostly I see that they demand for database, and like if I learn the
Right now,
database,
yes.
what I think is that then I can, like, if any opportunities come in AWS, that would be not complicated because database will be same as all the places.
Correct. That is correct. But Synapse is also not different. 95%
Okay.
Databricks.
Okay.
But it's a Microsoft own product.
Okay. And my second question is that for learning the SQL, what you suggest that one you suggested HackerRank, and that lead code is famous, right? So solving
Correct.
those problems of lead code, that will help.
Definitely, because yesterday I was talking to a guy. It was like an interview. Okay, we started as a conversation, but if I get an option, I'll definitely hire that guy because he's very, very good on that SQL. And I asked him how, because I know HackerRank and lead code are very good. He told he has what is it, a golden rank or something in HackerRank, which means he solved a lot of scenarios and he got that level. And you give him any scenarios, no, he's solving it. So that is the most important thing.
Thank you, Navneet.
Yeah, hello,
Asif?
Navneet. Asif here. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for this informative session. So I have two questions here. The first one here is like I'm working as a Hadoop admin. So to switch to data engineering profile, I could see in the roadmap there are multiple skills like PySpark, Scala, then orchestrated like Fuzzy, Airflow, then cloud technologies. So that is a quite huge. So can you tell like which are the basics one we can just start with and attempt the interview? And the
Okay.
other question is like uh, sometimes like we don't have hands on like how to portray our Hadoop admin experience there, and like sometimes you are not confident to attend the interview, right? So how to start with, and what should be the preparation strategy? Those are the
The
questions.
confidence level is sometimes it depends upon the people, because I know somebody who just know how to do df dot read and df dot write is having greater confidence than somebody who knows even a framework in Spark. Okay, so first what you have to do is do whatever you learn. Let's say if you're learning 15 minutes to 30 minutes practice. Okay, so you are not just memorizing. So you are doing it, so you know how it works. Okay, and keep all those code snippets somewhere for you on a specific GitHub or your notebook, so that you can refer that, so you don't have to search it again. Okay, but first what you have to do is you have to learn SQL. You have good resources here, like the people have mentioned LeetCode and HackerRank. That works actually. HackerRank works for a few things, which I even personally tried few things. LeetCode is also very good. So first learn it for data engineering interview. I don't see, this is very, very bad practice which is happening in the market, that the data I heard like it was okay. I don't want to blame that guy, but that is an awareness issue. He was asking, I'm a big data engineer, why you are asking SQL? Big data itself is data, dude. So you have everything here in data. What would you do without connecting to a Flex Cube or a Temenos in case of a bank environment? Because that is all operational database, and get the data. From where you get the data? What big data engineer you are? Where are you going to acquire the data and do analysis? Again, end of the analysis, you need to do SQL or related things. Doing a Python is not going to solve the problem. Okay, so SQL is the most important thing here. And then a programming language, I would say that, see, nowadays learning Python is Python is a very good functional programming, where that is one more important thing which you have to go through. But see, Databricks for you, Asif, better get into this Databricks way of doing it, which means notebook methodology, either through AWS or Azure. So you don't complicate certain things. When you say you have done this thing, you don't need to have say Woozy, Airflow. I have written a script deployed here, nothing. Just say you have taken a notebook, selected an option of SQL. I've written the script and used so and so UDFs, then deployed it on ADF. Because Databricks and ADF has a direct connection where the notebook can be directly linked. See in tutorial how that can be done. Take Azure has a Databricks free subscription. For some days, I think they have reduced it now. So you can take the subscription just by giving your Gmail ID, and then you can start doing it.
Yeah, Navneet, thank you.
Anybody else? Any question? What's the time now? 10:30.
Yeah, Navneet, one more
No.
question. So, I was just thinking, like, what are the opportunities in Middle East, like for data engineering or someone with good SQL skills right now?
Yeah, see, if you are really good in SQL, because the first round interview happens here with SQL, and data engineer overall has a good demand. Now you see you have opportunities in Emirates, Etihad, ENBD, Emirates, NBD Bank, and a few other areas also as a data engineer. And maybe next month after Ramadan after 15th, I will also have some openings for data engineer, which my customers are yet to confirm. So data engineering is always in a demand here. And if you are getting into any data engineering or any companies, please ping me. I will give you some feedback, because joining some companies, you can better stay in India here, because your work life will be screwed, and because the sub companies here are not that great on culture. So if you are asked, if you want to join any company and you have an offer, please let me know. I can definitely help you. Guide. I'll give you the honest reply, either to go or not. Then it's your decision. I think I have my friend Pechimuthu also here. So we always talk about this kind of which company to go, which company not to go. He worked for here. Is it the same
Yeah,
Pechimuthu?
Navneet, I have one question regarding that only. So I one offer in pipeline for company BNP Paribas. It's a European bank.
Yeah, yeah.
So can you suggest? Yeah,
You have an offer in India, right?
yeah, in India.
Okay. See, BNP, like I had my friend worked before 3-4 years. I told it's good. Which role it is?
Hadoop admin.
And you can go actually. So because any bank, you have proper processes, and you have kind of when you are going to a company without processes, you suffer a lot. But when you go to a bank, you can slightly relax. So it's good. But wherever you go, right, this one thing as
Excel
a
data.
huh? Come
Yeah,
again?
sorry. Can you go ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no. Sorry.
there was a proper statement given by one of my friend. Actually, he told, your work-life balance is in your hand. Wherever you are going, don't say tomorrow or don't say immediately. So if you are properly giving a time, that's where you handle your work-life balance. If you say, okay, I can do it tomorrow, and if it is not able to be finished tomorrow, then you have a problem. So if it takes 2 days, say 3 days to have a proper mental peace.
Yeah, that's true, Navneet. Thanks for that. And one more question: in Fabric is in preview, right? Is it live or
Which one?
no, customers are not
Come
Microsoft
again.
Fabric?
Fabric is actually it has been marketed, and if you see Fabric, there is a website which I saw, say, because there was a customer asking the same question. Fabric is now available in all the region. I can share you that. Just give me a minute. Let me check.
Yeah, because and one more question is we have since Databricks has they have marketed it through Azure. ADF they were using it to execute the notebooks and any transformations. Now with the Fabric, do we still need to use ADF to execute the scripts, or we have internal?
No. Fabric has internal. They have this internally. They have the kind of orchestration. Now that's what Azure Data Engineering module is having internal orchestration. I asked one question when Fabric was actually. You can check the Fabric region availability in Microsoft. Just type Fabric region availability. You can see all the regions. I asked the same question. What will be your difference between Databricks and your Synapse? Okay. That was a question where they told we also have notebook. I asked very good question. Databricks have Delta and Lakos. What equivalent component you have? They told same we have because both are open source.
Okay. So maybe we can say that Synapse maybe in not shorter or longer they be dismantle or Databricks may go.
They will say you that you say 20% money through Synapse. What your company will do?
Obviously, they will go with that.
That's it. Easy marketing strategy for any multinational company. Like how they sold Geo to us.
Yeah, free gym sim services. Then you will pay 777, 666.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Munyadi. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So currently I'm working in a database side. So now I want to move to Python ETL side. I know I'm working on a database and Power BI, Tableau, ClickView, ClickSense, all the BI tools I can easily pick it up. But this newly program language, it's a bit different for me.
There is no problem in picking up any new program language. Learn the basics of Python. Learn about collections, what kind of operations you do in Python, functions, and all those things basic. And to practice, if you want, I have one Python content. Ping me in LinkedIn. I'll share it with you. Very big. And also there are a lot of people in LinkedIn. I could see they are hosting free Python videos and SQL videos where you can go through it. All these are good actually. I have no comments on who's good, who is bad. All these are good, and you can see. You have YouTube. Everything are available in YouTube with a very good playlist. Okay, so please go through it. And one thing is always I say practice, not just go through practice. And after that, what you have to do is once you're very good at SQL and Python. See, yesterday I was called by a guy who was actually asking. I need a job in data engineering. I just asked him how good you rate yourself on SQL 6. I told take 1 month and come back. Don't make sure that you are 8%, 8 out of 10 in SQL and then come back. I cannot suggest you anything now because of your SQL problem, because you learn Spark and everything, but the first question will be in SQL if you're appearing for a data engineer. So that is the most important thing. And then so Munyadi, what you can do is after that you can learn Spark and other things, but because you are already good in data and you are already in Power BI and other areas which are actually which will help you to get into it, because you connect a direct query to Teradata or Postgres. You can check whether the direct query works in Hive. If it is not working, what you have to do in Hive. So likewise, you can learn a lot of things, because Hive has a different architecture. Delta has a different architecture. How do you create a live report through Delta? So these are the things which you have to learn. Okay, which means you can become a full stack data engineer with Power BI. This is a great skill actually, if you know end to end, because many data engineers lacks Power BI. Okay, but if you know this and you are going back, you have a very good future.
Yeah, I already developed procedure functions. So those kind of things I can easily develop. But all the program language still the while
No.
loops and
First, please break the loop, break barrier. Programming languages tough, SQL is tough. These are just barriers. Something like one of my friend who says that I don't like flight. I don't like height. I don't get flight. Now he traveled to 17 countries last year. So just a myth.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Hi Navneet, Maha here.
Hi,
I
Maha.
have a how are you?
Mhm. It's been 1 month, right? We met. Oh, guys, she's my friend.
Yeah. So I will refer to one statement which you were mentioning earlier in the session regarding the BAs and the domain expertise, and like the BA role side of things, who bring in the domain expertise, right? And for somebody who has worked on data engineering and kind of transitioned into a BA for domain specific role, what do you see, or how do you see which domain of it or which aspect of it would be working best in terms of the
Okay.
data engineering practices and in terms of the modules? Yeah.
See, the most important aspect for a BA is to be patient, okay, and understand the business. Because the initial talk of any data engineering happens as a business need, and also the data engineering is not just the jobs what we create. It is directly assigned to a business benefit, or it's directly assigned to an application which gives business benefit, or a process which needs to be shown to a, let's say if it is a bank, it's a RBI central bank, or a different entity, or if it is a healthcare, it has to be taken to the government for all those things, because all or it's directly to the customer. If it is mortgage or an insurance company, it's directly to the customer. At this point of time, you have a much sensitive business ideas to be gathered, and those to be framed properly, because even one item you miss would actually have a bigger impact on the release, and you have a competitor waiting for any opportunities of yours going wrong to be grabbed. Okay, so in this case, if you want to become a business analyst, I would suggest that you should be having let's say bank. You need, if you are becoming a business analyst on retail banking, either talk to somebody who is very good in retail banking, or go through retail banking course. And if it is a healthcare, then ask. If it is a mortgage, then see how the mortgage business works, because that is knowing the business is most important. And if you are getting into new things on a finance side or a business analyst, I think sustainability has a very good business analytics. Maha, as I told you, sustainability has a very big future on the business side of every companies, because every companies, as a bank or a mortgage or a healthcare or a transport or retail or a food delivery, everybody wants to see how they can change their business and make some yearly report or a yearly improvement on sustainability. So this is one of the most important thing. So understand the business will not give you, without understanding the business, nothing you can derive even on sustainability or giving a better idea. Because sometimes I know, like one of my close friend whom I studied with my college, along with me in college, she is a very good expert on mortgage business, because she is also suggesting in optimizations for certain processes, because she understood the business. So, and also she's a very good SQL person. Like I know personally, like she solved some problems for me when I was. She was a BA, but that is not her job to sit with the developer and do it. But she did it. So it's all. It's actually. I cannot answer you very simple that business analyst. What are the skills and what are the things you should actually understand the business, patience of listening, and then think about how the business works. What are the implications? Learn a lot about the the connecting points of those business, and then you can see the market products competitor, and then you can analyze which are the gaps and how that can be framed in a proper technical term. Talk to the business and convey the same thing to the technical, get the proper architecture, ask more questions when there is an architect, because I was asked by a lot of questions by a business guy. He screwed me to answer a lot of questions. Likewise, do the same, so that your architecture will be same. Your architecture will align with the business requirement. That is what 70% failure. Okay, 70% failure happens because the architectures are not aligned with the business requirement. The tools are not aligned with the business requirement, or the company try to compromise with the tool which is currently available, which are extremely stretched. So all these things you have to take it as a concern in this area, Maha.
Sure. I think I'll connect one on to be
Yeah,
the most.
I spoke to one of my friend who is actually working on an IoT company here, and this particular company, tomorrow I'm meeting him same here, same office. So he'll just visit my office, and we are going to have a 3 hours talk. his founder liked him because he told certain tools are not required for this, which were actually charged around 300, 400K US dollar. He told this is all not required for this project. I can do this with Postgres because you have only so much less amount of data, and Postgres is also having a graph DB features. All those things are there. So why are you going with this X tool which was trying to be sold by a sales guy? So this is the most important thing. He understood the business. The business will have only so and so amount of data, and less amount of this particular database itself is required. He is a big data guy. He worked on Cloudera Hortonworks for long. He could have told, okay, go get 15 nodes of Cloudera license and let's do it. But he didn't do that. Anybody else? Okay, so if you are fine, we can close the session. Thanks everyone for attending the session. We'll be hosting more sessions in future. Thank you.
Can we get the record?
Yeah, I will post the recording in the YouTube definitely in another 1 hour.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. I'm closing the session. Bye.
Thank you.